SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Engineering, Medical and Health Sciences, Management, Science and Humanities, Law, Agriculture Sciences. Admissions open.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful day. It is really nice to see all of you all waiting ahead of us, 15 minutes ahead of time. Thank you for all your attention and activity with us. It is really enthusiastic and giving us a lot of energy too. So we start another energetic day today. I request our dear Dean Sir to give us a few words.
Very good morning, my dear students and the faculty members and the dynamic Raja. Thank you very much for the opportunity again. I was just referring to some of the articles written by some experts, and it was mentioned, how do you handle the unprepared mind? That is what is written. So anything you say to somebody, they should be ready to take it, for which they should have the preparedness or they should have the understanding. So how do you do this? So the history says, Lord Krishna prepared Lord Arjuna to get into the war. That preparation is very important. That preparation he made, and then he made him to be successful in the war. And the whole of Mahabharata came into completion. So that is the kind of preparation what we are also looking at it. And now this whole team, headed by Professor Arvind, Professor Raja, Professor Anita Madam, Professor Kavita Madam, Professor Raja, and many others here, also guest speakers here, is preparing you to get into this war. It is not a war, it's a kind of joy here we call. The kind of life, the kind of happiness, the kind of celebration, what you're going to get it. You have to be prepared. So how do you get into prepared? How do you feed things in the prepared mind? So when you're unprepared, because now you don't know. What, according to me, what you know is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. C plus O2 is equal to CO2. Right? H2, water, air, soil, all these things you know. We don't want all these things. What we are doing is the unlearning process. We wanted you to unlearn everything, whatever you have done for this 15 years. Right? 1 year in preschool and 2 years in your kindergarten. Another 12 years in the school. Please forget everything. Let's become zero. Now, our experts will do this unlearning process, which they are already doing, and they are training you to become a creator, the God. So, the God will not answer to anything, but he will make things to perform, act, get the things done. How he does it? In actions. Definitely he does it in actions. How do you know that? You cannot see, but you can feel it. And I'm sure within this period of 10 days time, you all would have definitely felt the difference of growth or whatever it is. I can see very much that in your WhatsApp postings, the creativity, the strength, what you understand. I never seen C plus O2 is equal to CO2 in any of these postings there. Right? The preparedness has happened already. You are getting more prepared. You are with joy. You are with happiness. You are with kind of temperature. This is what we are actually looking at it, which definitely suits for your career as an architect and the joy of living. And it's almost like you're falling in love. It's more passionate and more enjoyable session. Not only this training process of this 10 days and not only this 5 years of your academic career, the whole life is going to be like that. You'll be in a different world. This mathematics cannot do that. So, and also we'll also tell you how to do ABCD. All these ABCD you have learned this 15 years is totally different, is going to be different from what ABCD which you are going to do now. We will tell you, we will train you, we will make you an expert how to write an ABCD. That ABCD also a big ABCD and small ABCD. How to write 1 to 3, right? How to write in different fonts, different styles, and your body language, your personality, your style, everything will change because you have fallen in love. You are a passion. You have a good passion towards what you're going to do. And we also tell you how to hold a pencil, how to hold a pen, how to hold a brush, and how to train that. You also train your pencil how to work. To that extent, it will go. and you will become an expert. That is called as the preparedness. How to prepare anybody to get prepared. So again, you're also going to become an Arjuna or a Krishna, however you call. And also for anybody to say this architecture course doesn't have any kind of religion or whatever. See, even a Hindu person comes, or a Christian person comes, or a Muslim person comes, or anybody comes anywhere. It's not only a house, even a small space or even a product, everything could be designed by you. It is definitely possible. There, it needs only an interest. So, how long we do this, we don't know. But today we can definitely do it. So we live today. This is the truth, and we live in imagination with whatever it is, and get prepared. Imagine yourself to be great, and fall in love. In today's context, how do you experience it? It's very simple. Just go to your dad or your mom. Just hug her. Just take care of go to your brothers and sister. Kiss them. Right? Just kiddle them. Just play with them. No, this 1 + 1 = 2 mathematics will not give all these things. These kind of things will give you everything. The kind of happiness, the joy, the creativity, your mind is well prepared and very stable. This architecture course should not have the stress or pressure. It should be free. And by doing all these things, your mind is always fresh and happy and comfortable, and definitely it takes a lot of greater things in your mind, and you can do a lot of innovative things in your life. So this is the whole idea behind it. And I also was talking about I was looking into some kind of communicators. There are a lot of great speakers here. They talk about good communications. The good communications is not in terms of prepared speech. The good communications comes from the heart. I've also seen, I was very happy yesterday to some of these students coming as a moderator or whatever you want, they come and speak. I'd be very happy if everybody comes here and speak. I request the organizers to give the chance for these children to come forward and speak. And you'll be a good communicator. You'll be a good moderator. You'll moderate the whole of the things, that you transform everything together with whatever directions you want. That definitely happens. And you have to love the life, love the people, love the space, and love whatever you have. Today is the truth. Today is the availability. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow we don't know. And let's celebrate life. That's the art of living. That's the joy of living. Thank you so much. All the best. Have a great life.
Thank you so much, Dean sir. Thank you for the energy that you share and the positivity. Let us prepare to reset our thinking process and our performing process, and let us enjoy it. Thank you so much, Dean sir. Now I call upon our dear favorite tutor, Raja sir. The show is all yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Another celebrating day and a weekend also. Let's celebrate a weekend with a beautiful day. All of you, you had given beautiful messages. You have actually posted lots of posters and everything. Actually, yesterday it was so wonderful to see each one of them. I'm so happy to receive that enthusiasm from you. I'm so happy that you are actually becoming more and more creative. As Dean sir said, Lord Krishna asked Arjunan to visualize, what it is actually going to win Dharma, Yuddha, basically. How to win. He actually has put Arjuna in a visualizing mode and asked him, this is what is actually going to be the result. Okay. The Satya will actually, come alive. That is the idea actually, the Krishna has given it to Arjuna. The same way, if you see Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge or any movie, Shah Rukh Khan was not expressing his love to Kajal. So he has to actually, travel all the way from London to, India, Punjab, and, get the things done. Okay. Then he actually realizes the day actually he puts that bell, cow's bell from Switzerland into his front facade, then she realizes the expression should be done. Today's class is about expression. Okay, it is about visualization. Okay, it is about a great visualization, because all architects are actually great visualizers. We have visualized everything in our mind. Everything is visualized very properly by us actually. So it is always not needed for us to actually, express our visualizations through something so that the client can actually understand everything properly. That is the idea of today's class. The idea of actually putting your eyes to the client actually. So you express through a medium, okay? The medium is an eye actually. So this perspective which we are going to talk today is about the medium in which we are going to express our thoughts. It's a very important lesson. It actually holds 55 marks of your Natta examination. So be aware, and you can actually go to the slides directly, okay? So this is the Natta online, let's celebrate the life. So day 6, this perspective, 1 point perspective, which we are actually talking about. So here we actually have a point where, it is all radiating and it's creating a 1 point perspective. We have actually seen sun rays, okay? The sun rays we have seen. See, it's all getting focused at 1 point actually. The sun rays is actually getting focused at 1 point and the rays are actually coming to you. So we are focusing our eye towards the sun rays and see how the sun rays is actually reflected to our, entire medium, okay? So that is the first question which I am asking. Question number 1, how do you feel when you look at sun rays and light sources? Radiation as rays in an angle or focal point or both? I'll just share it again, please. Sir, we can go for the poll, yes. So all of you are actually almost, all of you are actually voting now, right? So all of you have said that, it's the both focal point and the radiation which we get. The sun rays are actually giving some kind of a rays to us, to our eyes through a focal point. So this is what is the first understanding. When you actually visit a barber shop, you see that glasses are actually reflecting yourself. At some point of time, it is ending, this is ending at some point of time. That end point is always the point where your eyesight is gone. So that is the idea. First, we have to understand. This is a technical thing about the entire perspective. The eyesight, where it actually ends, you can see till only 1 point. Otherwise, you will be seeing everything in our life actually. So that is what we actually see. So 1 point perspective, as you know, sun rises from the east. Is it true? No, sun is not rising from the east. The sun is there and we are actually rotating ourselves. This is what we actually get it in a desert. You can see that there is a bottom here. There is the sky here, okay? This is the horizon line. This is the line which parts our eye from the earth to the sky. That is called as a horizon line, which I actually call that red one, which I have put as the horizon. Today's class, I request all of you to actually take a sketchbook also and mark, the lessons. Today's class is about, whole is about the drawing one. So you all can have a sketchbook, a pencil, and so that, you can actually mark everything and try to understand. This is what we actually see in our life. This is the horizon, that's a sky on top and the earth in the below, say. That is the horizon line. Then we have 2 points of our eyes, our eyes are actually going like that. And it is actually end at 1 point. So this is the way actually it actually ends. The vanishing points from 2 points actually ends at a horizon line, actually ends at a point that is called as a vanishing point. The 2 lines which are there are called as vanishing line. First thing which you have to learn from this is horizon, vanishing points and vanishing lines. There are 3 important things which you have to see. We have already seen this, railway tracks everywhere. Whenever we actually see these railway tracks in our eyes, always our railway lines actually end. But it is true. If it all ends, then GT Express, Tamil Nadu Express and Pallavan Express will fall. because they are two different lines, but because of our eyesight, it is actually are coming into one point. This is called as the vanishing point or the vanishing lines which we see. This is all our sight. It is all our eyesights which we are actually going to see. The horizon which you see, it differs the sky and below earth. So this is how the vanishing point expressed in your eye view. If you actually stand in a place and try to understand and visualize, the horizon will be there. You'll have the vanishing point VP. Then you'll have all these things which are radiating from this one point perspective, in that one point actually. That is called as a vanishing point. Question number 3. Perspective is about eyesight, yes or no? It could be anybody's eyesight. So almost all of you have voted that it is about the eyesight. Yes, it is about the eyesight of anyone. It is about the human eye only. So it is about the eyesight, okay, for your knowledge. So today I've actually taken a small little cubes. This is a horizon. I have taken a square first. This is the first square which you have to take. This is the first square which you take, and you can actually see there are 4 points which we have already talked about. Shapes. In shapes which we have talked about, there are 4 edges which they have. So now you connect that edges. You think that you are actually here and you are connecting the edges. You are actually here seeing this. So what you are actually seeing, connecting the edge to the vanishing point, connecting the edge to the vanishing point, and see how it looks actually. This is how a square is actually here. There will be another square will get formed. There will be another square which will get formed. Then it actually completes this entire cube. A cube can be actually framed when you actually see from the horizons above level. Then here also from the left hand side, you can see there is a square here, there is a square formed here, then actually connects with a VP, vanishing point. It creates this wonderful drawing. You can actually put these cubes everywhere. You have to practice this in your home, you know, like you keep on, because the perspective only can be learned through practices. It is not through the theory classes or something like that. It is only through practices you have to actually do it. You draw this sketch, you put as many cubes as possible, you put as many squares as possible, and learn how it is actually done. So this is what is actually called as this is a normal eye level. The horizon is there. That is the normal eye level. This is what you actually see in the normal eye level. This is the below eye level which you see. This is the below eye level which you see. When an object is placed below the eye level, you can see the top. Who can see the top? Only a bird can see the top, you know, like that is called as a bird's eye view. When an object is placed above the eye level, you can see the bottom of that, you know, you can see the bottom of this. Here you can actually see the bottom of it. The bottom can be actually seen by a worm. So it is called as a worm's eye view. So this is what you have to actually practice when you go to your class, when you go to your home. Try to practice as many as cubes as possible so that you understand the entire frame of your horizon and your levels from the side, left, top, and bottom, so that you can understand everything. You start practicing this and you'll get the best idea. Here in this drawing, the people started converting. This is done by a Natta student. What he has done, he has made all the cubes here. Now he started converting this cube as a railway track. You can see that railway track is actually, you know, been done. In this drawing itself, they started understanding the geometry is the only thing. Most of the people have actually, you know, inquired about not knowing sketching and all. Nothing to actually worry, because it is not about sketching. It is only about geometry. If you understand geometry very properly, you can always draw perspective in a beautiful way, and you can draw. The people who are not very good in sketching and people like that, you please concentrate on perspective. Perspective will give better drawings than the normal sketching which you do. That gives an accurate geometrical drawing, and it is related to geometry. That is very, very important for architecture. Architectural colleges actually like geometry to be converted as an imaginary one. Here you can see there are two platforms which is being carved out by the Natta student. Here they have actually done this two platform. Again, it is just a square or a rectangle which is being converted as a platform. So try to understand, it is just a platform. The platform is carved out of a rectangle or a square. So today we actually talk about how do we actually draw a scene. Okay, this is the VP, vanishing point, which we have taken. Then we have actually a rectangular space. We name that space as 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have to name it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you actually draw your vanishing point where you are actually going to draw your drawing. Connect the vanishing point with the 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Then you get another rectangle. Now it actually has become your room. Okay, there is the wall which is there in the side is your room's end wall, and you are actually sitting and enjoying the room. This is very simple. Now you have actually got the another rectangle there. That is the wall of the room. You mark it A, B, C, D. You know, like vanishing point A, B, C, D. Now you start making the windows. You know, like try to actually vanish your lines from the window. When you are actually having any problem with the scale, what you do, you divide D and B vertically, because the vertical lines are not going to change. So divide the D and B into the vertical lines. It's say for an example, your human scale is say, like 6 feet. Then after that, another 4 feet for the house ceiling. So you get 10. So divide that into 10 feet. Then you get all the dimensions correct. Try to get the proportions and scales through that dimension. So put a scale here also, put a scale here also. Try to connect them so that you get entire thing absolutely correct. Here I'm actually trying to do another vanishing point, trying to do the verticals. The verticals will remain verticals only. They will not change. Now I have made a window here. Now I'm started making a nice door for that house. Okay. So the entire scene is now done. As you can see, I have actually drawn the tiles also for the entire room. So yeah, the scene is created. This is the first drawing which you have to try and do. This is the idea of actually doing a 1 point project, nothing else in it. It's a very, 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 very simple drawing. You keep practicing that, it will actually be very easy for you. Next, we'll actually draw another scene of a street. There is a vanishing point. There is a horizon which is here. There is a line which I have actually made. Now I'm actually making a square A, B, C, and D. Now I'm actually making a, I'm trying to vanish it. As you know that there is one square which is here. There is another square which is formed because I've taken a vertical line here. Then I put a horizontal line. Then I put a vertical line, horizontal line. It has actually formed a square here also. This is now a nice cuboid which has been created. As you can see, this scale of this place, this is what is very, very important. Whenever you actually see anybody in a far place, then you will see them as a small people. The proportion will be small. When they come closer to us, actually, they will actually, the scale will be higher. So here also, the vertical line, which is of same dimension of the vertical line here, because of the distances which it is traveling, it is actually becoming a lesser scale. A scale is actually reduced. You can see that A, B, C, D, and is being done. Now I started making the street view. I'm actually considering this now as a building, and I'm putting the windows for that. Now you can see that the entire scene is created, and you have a street view. A very simple thing, very, very easily you can actually make it in a very simple manner altogether, so that it actually gives you a beautiful perspective. This is the way actually, the first practices, so that the scale can be understood in a proper way. Now you can see there's a winter, there is a road which is there. So you take up a road and take these charts also, how you will be actually visualizing that. And far more place, you actually put up a focal point. then you start drawing these vertical things, because people get lots of problem with the angular lines in the perspective. So I request you to actually try doing this, so that you can actually understand all these trees are actually of same height only. All the width of the road is actually of same height, same width only. But because of the perspective, it is actually showing up like that. Question number 3, shadows cast at an angle, yes or no? Okay, all of you have actually said 100%. You said, like, you know, the shadow is angle with sun, Nivedita. Okay, shadows cast at an angle, yes or no? Actually, Nivedita, you have to go back to our YouTube this thing, and I have actually, you know, said about the sun angle and all that in that, and there is a light angle also we have talked about, so you can go through that YouTube video and they can see that. Okay, thank you. So perspective view with the light and shadows. This is what we actually are going to do in our Natta program, Natta examination, in our life also, because we are actually going to work on only those parameters, because we'll be actually casting shadows on our buildings, and we'll be seeing how the building is actually looking from the somebody. I think, yeah, can you somebody unmute everyone, please? Somebody's it's coming. Okay. So now you can see there is a light which is falling here. We have talked about this very clearly. The bright light which is there. There is a shadow which is cast here. The shade is actually here. The shadow is cast here. The 1 point perspective, the vanishing point here. So we are trying to connect the vanishing point. The sun is here. Please understand, the sun will actually cast a shadow in an angle. So this is what another thing which you have to use. You have to actually keep practicing this also. When you keep practicing this, you can actually understand the solids very well. You have understood the solids, you understand the shapes, you understood the principles. Now you understand how the perspective can be down out of all those things which we have already talked about. So this is what you have to do, and you have to actually try doing this first step. Don't go jump, because, you know, maybe you could be a very good painter. No, don't jump. Okay, just try to actually make this basic drawing so that everything is actually, you know, done properly. Okay, then this is the Natta question which has been asked. There is a drawing test. In Natta question, there are lots of ways this question is asked. Okay, so first we will actually take a normal view. So normal view in which what a question actually can be asked. Okay, you are near a traffic signal with zebra crossing with the bus, cyclist and auto rickshaw beside you. Draw the scene. That is the question which is asked. It is a normal question which can be asked every day. Okay, it's a normal view of ourselves. Okay, it is to first test your imagination. You know what is actually happening in real day-to-day life, to test your memory also, and test actually the perspective, 1 point perspective of yourself. So try to actually analyze first what is the perspective in which it is asked. It is an imaginative question or it is actually a true question. The normal view is a true question because you always see every day. This is to recall what you have actually, what is there in your memory. Architect, it is very important to have a very good memory. So they will be asking a normal eye view of a question. So first of all, whenever you attempt this 55 marks question, I will give you a list, you know, after the lessons are over, I will give you a list how to go about a question. But when you actually go about a question, first you identify whether it is 1 point perspective or just an imaginary drawing. If it is asked like a 1 point perspective, make sure that you actually make it as a 1 point perspective. Then make sure that what are the elements which is actually giving. Don't, if there are people I have seen, you know, they give zebra crossing, so they'll make a zebra. Because they don't actually, they are panicked, you know, like they don't actually understand a zebra crossing, but they make a zebra which is walking in the road, you know. Don't do it. You can be a great creator. But what you have to do, you have to read the question, because advantage of architecture, as I talked about, it is about dialogue. So you actually talk, he's talking about a bus, he's talking about a cyclist, and he's talking about an auto rickshaw. Why he is actually talking about three different things? Because three different things have three different proportions and scale. So they want to understand your scale and proportion, and they want to understand, they want to test, because a zebra crossing will be in a horizontal line. Okay, if you actually make it in an angular way, whether you know about zebra crossing or not, how far they have to actually park their vehicle also, they actually keep that also in their mind and ask you these kind of questions. So make sure you actually draw that properly draw the road. It's very, very simple question. This is actually, you can easily actually draw. This is a normal eye view in which they ask the question. Second is about a bird's eye view. Say they will be asking a question through a bird's eye view. So they will ask, like, you are looking at a bus stop from a second floor of your house, draw the scene. Now they are actually asking one which is top of your, this is not your eye view, but you are going to look at from the top and see the top of the bus. So you please try to understand the vanishing point which is there in the top, and you are going to see the top, and you will be actually having those characters which are there. This is done by our artist, and this is done by a Natta student. They're trying to, you don't actually, you know, like, don't work on too much, but basic concept has to be right. Say the artist has done here, there is a nameplate also artist has put, but the kid actually did not put the nameplate. So try to be very specific, try to actually give maximum possible, you know, imaginative way of understanding. Try to give what people will be giving. Here the kid is not actually making a seater, but the artist has actually made a seater, because there will be a seater in a bus stop. So you always actually recreate that in a proper way, how the tree will be looking. Don't make a tree which is, you know, small, or don't make a tree which is big. We'll be talking about trees and human in the later part of our studies. So this is what you have to do. Make sure that people are also moving, and try to understand. Please see, this person here is having a larger scale. You know, the scale of this person is larger, the proportion of this person is larger. Here the scale is actually reduced because of the perspective. Make sure that you make all these things so that they understand, that you understand one point perspective in a proper way. You understand how people will be looking. So make sure that you do that properly in your Natta questions, you know, bird's eye view. Then they will be asking about real life scenes. That is also one point only. So from one point you actually make, this is a real life scene. They will be asking, you are in a beach and hearing music using your phone. People are around you, draw a scene. So they will be asking you how to go about a scene which you actually, you know, you have in your memory. So try to get, they will be actually asking exhibitions. They'll be asking marketplaces. All these things are imaginative and you have already seen in your life. So you recall those memories and make those memories. It's very important for architecture to recall the memories and do the memories, you know. So please understand. And whenever you actually, you know, one of the persons from Madhya Pradesh one day asked me, like, I don't have a beach. I don't know how to actually imagine that. He said it to me, actually. I said, like, you know, boss, it's very difficult for me. I'll try to understand. See, this is how you have to just recreate from your memory, from your pictures which you have seen, you know, the cinemas which you have seen, and try to understand and try to draw that thing, because there will be a boats there. Boats in the sense, people start making ships. How can be a ship there in a beach? It's not possible, okay? And people actually, you know, start making so many things. You know, try to understand. The scene has to have some important people. Say the people who are actually, you know, selling peanuts. There are people who are actually there with balloons and all that. So it is all important. You actually, you know, think about it in a clear way. See, the artist has actually made a mistake. He has actually, you know, sorry. The artist has made a great mistake. He actually inserted the jack inside. How can he hear the music inserting the jack? You know, you have to put on the headphones, you know, like, so he has made a mistake here. So you have to be very careful, you know, don't make all those mistakes, okay? Okay, next. Then another question about a real life scene, which should test your ideology, okay? Test what you are. You are traveling in a local transport bus. First he is saying local transport bus. So you must understand how a local transport bus will be there, because there will be, you know, there will be, you know, people, hang-ons will also will be there. So it is a local transport bus. The seats will be lower because it is a town bus they are actually talking about, a city bus they are talking about. So you are traveling in a local transport. So put up local transport bus. You are seated on the seat immediately behind the driver. Please note that. No, where is your position? From which view you are actually seeing? The human is sitting at which place? This is what you have to understand in one point perspective. Try to understand where is your vanishing point and where you are going to actually look at from. Okay, that means you are now going to sit immediately behind the driver, facing the opposite side. They are saying facing the opposite side towards the people. That means you are sitting position, you are not standing position. So you have to understand what is the scale in which you are going to draw. You know, you are going to draw at a scale where you are in a seated position. You'll be looking at people in a this thing. Try to actually imagine the scene in a beautiful way. Try to imagine I have seen people actually make, straight standstill in a bus. How are people will be sitting standstill? See, in my sketch, you can see I made this. Some people actually, sleep in the bus, so that like it gives it gives a feeling of the entire fabric. So try to actually do a feeling of the entire fabric. Sketch with pencil. So again, they are saying sketch with pencil. So make sure that you use the pencils properly and sketch with the pencils. Darken it. Okay, that's very, very important. What we actually do, when we actually go for marriages and all, you cannot identify the bridegroom and bride. How? Why? Because it's all full of makeup, lots of shading. If you do, then it's not possible. It's all actually hidden. All those pimples and everything is actually hidden. So try to make more shading, more strokes, more rendering works, so that it actually hides lots of other parameters which are there. Like whenever we cook a nice biryani, you put lots of ghee in that, and you put lots of decorations, put it in a bowl. So people don't like, if we don't actually make a good biryani also, people might think that wow, he has made a good biryani. So let's actually dramatically create the scene. Okay, sketch with pencil inside the view of the bus as you would see it from your seat. That is what. So when you are actually sitting with the bus driver, then you will automatically see the steps. Please understand, this is what is very, very important, which is going to give you and fetch you more marks. Yes, you will be doing a wonderful sketching, but I tell you, architectural detailing is very, very important. They look at you, how you observe. Please understand, architectural classes and Natta is not about, I've asked, so many people have come to me and asked me, like, after the examination is over, very good artist, they say like, why I did not get a good mark? Because you did not observe the things. You did not observe the entire fabric. You did not observe the question very well. You did not give them what they want. See, I am an architect. I'll be looking at all these detailing which has been done by you, not your beautiful coloring and sketching, because architecture needs more of understanding towards detailing. So make sure, yes, of course, the artistical expression is very, very important, but always I tell you, the presentation holds a little edge. Make sure that you actually know, and then make sure that you actually read and do the things very properly. Okay, next question. Real life scenes, we ask our students to actually do it, like you also practice this. Try to actually get this this lettering and all these things done. Okay, try to make more possible recalling of your memory, and try to understand. This is a temple. Last week you went to Srirangam and visited the temple. Draw a sketch of temple with its surrounding. So you must know what exactly is there. The birds are flying here. You can have shops. Then I don't think like you'll be selling mobile in front of the temple. You'll not be doing that. So you must know, like, flowers will be sent, flowers will be sold. All these detailings are very, very important whenever you are actually going for, I think, Balaji Sweets. Here, this girl has actually put one topi on top of it, because all halwa walas, like apna Shah Rukh Khan jaisa halwa walas, all wear these hats, So he has made that detailing also very well. Okay. So Natta question paper 3, there is an imaginary real life. Okay, a real life in which it could happen, but maybe it might not actually happen. But the story is actually said. The story is narrated beautifully by Natta. The architects are actually, very good story tellers. As you can see in this, there's a beautiful story which has been said. Hear the story properly. Okay, this might have actually happened in your real life or might not have actually happened, but it is a real life imaginary scene. One late afternoon, you along with your family members were enjoying a boat ride along a river and viewed a spectacular sunset. They are saying spectacular sunset. The timing is actually given it to you. That means it is in the evening. The sun is actually going to, set in the west. That is actually going to take it as southwest. So the question is testing your sun path diagram. It is actually setting in the southwest. The rays will be there. The birds will be actually flying because birds are actually going back. All these scenery is very, very important. They are actually taking. Second, they are saying your family members. So you must be having your family members. If you have actually, your brother and sister and all that, but they are actually specific about that also. You noticed that the boat was moving from south to north. They are saying south to north, it is actually moving. That means behind is you, the left side actually is going to be a different scene. Right side is going to be a different side. Front side, it is going to be a different side. The light sources, we have to actually calculate the light source and understand the entire fabric. And we have to set up an evening scene actually. Okay, you're facing the north. Suddenly your younger brother shouted and told everybody to see the river bank on your right side. They are saying right side of your place. So don't be clear. They are saying right side is your rear river bank on your right side. You saw a series of high-rise apartments. First is putting high-rise apartments. So make sure that the banks exactly on the bank don't make high-rise apartments. You have to actually keep it little away. So make it actually high-rise apartment. Building interspersed with the trees. You can see that, interspersed with trees. So you make trees and actually, connect that this thing also. But in the middle, they are saying there is a magic which they are actually putting up. There is a focal point which they are actually putting up. In the middle, there is a beautiful river ghat. That means you must know what is a ghat. A garden and a small white mask adjacent to it. They have put small white mask and a garden. So you have to create a garden and a mask adjacent to it. This is all are going to be done by 1 point perspective. You have to calculate that 1 point perspective first. Adjacent to them, because you are actually looking at the scene. The scene is actually looked at in this way. So lots of birds were flying. Who is giving the vanishing point now? The younger brother is actually giving the vanishing point. He is telling us to actually look at the side of the river bank. So you actually have the vanishing point from the younger brother. In a garden and a small white mask adjacent to it. Lots of birds were flying around, sitting on the golden dome. Now they are actually saying the golden dome of mosque. So somebody has really that day actually made a beautiful sketch, polishing the entire with the pencil sketch. You're going to do it with pencil. So make sure that you actually shine that and show that it is a golden dome. In the concrete jungle, a small structure to be a nice relief. They are giving an emotion also in the question. Developed a colored sketch. Here actually they have given a colored sketch of what you are experiencing. Sorry, Aaron, when I was actually putting this, use a dry color, they said. So, but this question is asked in a pencil one only. So I'm sorry about this color sketch, which I have given it to my students. So it is actually a pencil sketch only they have asked. This imaginary sketch through a pencil. People have actually understood and tried to make that. This guy, I think, will get more marks. This guy will get more marks because of the angle in which they are actually looking. The vanishing point is looked in a proper way. This also here, the guards are actually properly made and rice buildings are altered and the detailing should be done properly. The question should be answered properly. Then there is an imaginary scene. That means putting yourself into the system. Okay. That means that is not at all possible, but you just imagine out of the context. An architect has to think out of the context. So that is the question which is asked. Imagine you are a fish. Okay, they will say, imagine you are a caterpillar or whatever it is. Imagine you are a fish. You are swimming with your other fish friends in a glass tank in a public aquarium. What will you do? You put yourself as a fish and you think that glass tank in a public aquarium. A family of 4 is watching you from outside and a young girl from the family is pointing at you. See, the pointing has been done. So the question is actually answered in a proper way. But this actually should, why I'm actually showing these sketches? because I want you to understand how the small young students are actually designing now. So maybe there might be corrections, but Natta does not bother about all these things. Too much of thing is not going to come. They are going to see like how you are actually pointing on. Make sure that at least you have understood the concept very well. If you understood really well, seeing the fins of the fish, other fish, and you actually see that girl in a very, very good proportional scale, they will really appreciate that. This can be done much better. This is not the right answer, but it is okay. This is a fair answer. A draw pencil sketch of what you see from your position in the tank. You are seeing it through the fish. So try to understand. This is the another question which is asked in a single point perspective. 1 point perspective. This is also 1 point perspective drawing. You have to actually focus that girl and try to actually get this scene done. Okay. And I thank you for this beautiful day again. This is a very technical session which we had. Today's thought of the day is architect Charles Correa. He's a great Indian architect and a person who really was admiring Indian architecture for a long time. A person who actually had lots of great insights for Indian architecture. His beautiful buildings at Titan and like his climatic understanding towards the region was really fantastic. This person's buildings were actually, there were some outstanding buildings which has been done. This building is actually the Vidhan Sabha of Bhopal, and he was so conscious when he actually made this Titan township. He incorporated courtyards. In my research also, I'm incorporating Charles Correa as my mentor, so that I understand the climatological factor towards the courtyards. And thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the evening and make those perspective which has been done. Thank you.
Thank you, tutor. Another day of learning and a lot of information. Any questions from the students? You can raise your hands so we can, if there's any questions, we can answer you. Anybody? Do raise your questions, or if you feel comfortable, you could also maybe raise it in the WhatsApp group. Today we have again another 2 young dynamic SRM faculty with us. The first one who would be talking to you would be architect Anju Sarah Abraham. She's a young assistant professor. She has 3 years of experience behind her. She has been teaching in various schools in Kerala also. She is for the past 6 months with SRM, and she specialized in environmental psychology. Architect Anju, please, can we have a few words from you?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Hi. Good morning, everybody. It is so nice to see all of you here during this time. I hope all are keeping safe and well. It's really energizing to see so many aspiring students who want to take architecture as their profession. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you all for that. What I would like to say is, I believe art is the soul and architecture is the body. Without the body, soul does not exist. So us as architects, when you choose to be an architect, you are inherently creating a history of the place you are in. So hats off to you for choosing this profession and for having the creativity or the creative mind to choose this. And I would like to first talk about one of my most favorite architects, Frank Lloyd Wright. So there is a quote by him that says, "The mother art is architecture. Without an architecture of our own, we have no soul of our own civilization." So our civilization is built by history or years of architecture. Even though architecture might not have been a prominent word back then, the history of our civilization has been built, and it's been seen even right now with our temples that's been built all these years back, and everything is seen through architecture. So architecture is so dynamic and so into and so heartful that it's a really nice profession, and I congratulate you for that. Now, I would just like to put up a few points about, like ma'am said, I am from SRMIST Science and Technology, Katangalathur campus. And I would just like to say about our college and how it's been my experience teaching there and all that. So just like how Dean sir said in the beginning, architecture is not actually just about studies. I believe it's just not about that. Architecture is a whole experience in itself. And to be able to do that, you need to be in an environment that helps you with that. So I would just like to paint a picture of why it would be great to choose SRM to be your field, and how it would be an honor for us to nurture you in that environment. So again, like Dean sir said, you spent all of your life in school. You're 12 years in school. You have been at home, and you've been through all these studies. You've done your exams. Some of you are still there to take exams, and you will be choosing to spend 5 years of your life in a college. And if you do not choose to be in a college that hones your experiences and hones your what do you say, skills and abilities to the maximum, the 5 years is actually going to waste. So choosing to be in a college that gives you the opportunity to take in experiences, that exposes you to various different ideas and thoughts and forums for you to experience, that is very important. And in that way, SRM is very, very good. I have been in SRM just for the past 6 months. And one of the most important things I have noticed teaching in SRM is we always encourage students to take part in extracurriculars. And our dean sir is so helpful and so encouraging for that, that he encourages all students to take part in extracurriculars. And at school, most of the time, extracurricular is always on the back side. It's on the back bench. We are mostly stuck with our studies, and I have also been a maths comp student, so I know how hard it is and how much of a pressure it is. So when you come into architecture, it is not just about being in your studio and drawing, or just about hearing your theory sessions. It is about creating a holistic experience for yourself. So, like Raja sir said a while back, architects are storytellers. For you to be able to tell a story, you need to have experiences. And just like I said, SRM is an extraordinary place to do that. We have so many symposiums, expos, and webinars. Right now, during the COVID time, we have been having webinars for the past one whole month. And we've had speakers from all around the world. We've had speakers from Chennai, so many prominent speakers. And our institute itself cultivates this what do you say, skill or ability in you to be able to experience this. So what I would like to tell you is, if you choose to be in SRM, you will be exposed to so many things going around that you might feel overwhelmed at times. And that I feel is a very good thing. Another very important thing for me, that was as a student and as a teacher right now, is one organization that is truly just for architecture. I don't know how many of you have heard about the National Architectural Students Association, NASA. Now, this association is solely run and owned by students. So when you choose to be a part of SRM, you have a default entry into NASA. What that gives you is a wide range of opportunity to meet thousands of students like students who have taken up architecture nationally, and especially us in Chennai, or if you choose to be in SRM, we are in zone 6. So you have zonal meetings, you have national meetings, you will be thrown into it. So you will have the opportunity to take part in academic trophies, to take part in cultural trophies. And that is such a good experience for you during your student life. And I would always encourage all my students to take part in it. So being in SRM, you have a default entry into that association, and that gives you such lifelong experiences. So it's an amazing place to be. That's why I hope that you choose SRM to be your, what do you say, your nest, so that we can nurture you to be young architects, and and we don't only teach you to be good architects, we teach you to be great human beings, because we believe that architecture is the soul of any country. And to create or hone or to create such good places or place memories, you need to be a good human being as well. I wish you all the very best for your upcoming exams, and I hope all of you do well. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Anju. Thank you very much. Uh, Thank you for all the inspiration that you have shared with the children. We have another young, dynamic graduate, a young assistant professor, architect Suraj. He is part of SRM. He avails from Oracle. He has specialized in bamboo architecture with ecological buildings and eco-friendly sustainable buildings, which is another trendy style of architecture. Can we have architect Suraj, please?
Yes, hello everyone. Am I audible, ma'am?
Very much. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, dear students. It gives me immense joy to see so many aspirants interested in studying architecture. As moderator already introduced me, my name is Suraj Dwivedi, and I'm here to share a small yet profound thought for all of you to ponder. I am an architect and an artist. I graduated from Gujarat University in Vadodara, and immediately after my graduation, I came to Auroville to explore the practice of architecture and a new way of living. Auroville was quite known in our circles for its experimental architecture, to explore appropriate technologies and alternate way of living. After coming here, I went through a series of life-changing experiences, from working with prominent architects to understanding conscious lifestyle choices. For instance, where does our food come from? How to be self-dependent by producing our own food, and for instance, building our own shelter. Where does our waste goes once it's outside our door? All these things were really unknown to me and are unknown to many of our near and dear ones. I believe as an architect, it will be you all, our responsibility to make people aware of these nitty-gritties of architecture of our life. At School of Architecture and Interior Design at SRM University, I teach subjects such as building materials and construction, 2D graphics, 3D graphics, and art studio, with the effort of imparting some of these practices. And I look forward to see all of you over there. I believe that architecture is not just what we build, but how we live. You know, we are all architects of our life, and the way we design will be the way we live. Or let's say the way we live is the way we design. Well, that's something I leave you to ponder about. I leave you with an insightful thought from Paramhans Yogananda ji. He said, your success in life does not depend only upon natural ability. It also depends upon your determination to grasp the opportunity that is presented to you. Opportunities in life come by creation, not by chance. Thank you. I wish you all very best wishes for your exciting journey and many success to come. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Suraj. That was a very, very thought-provoking statement that you last made from Paramahamsa. So today we had quite a serious session. Actually, to add, I think somebody is on. I think, yes, thank you. I hope everybody's put up. Yes. I would like to add to all the thoughts that everybody has been trying to share is at the overwhelming nature of architecture. And I would like to quote a person whom I've heard. He was talking about this, and it is from the ancient scriptures. He says, first one person wanted to become an architect. So he went to a very well-known architect and said, this is from the ancient times when there were no schools for architects. And then he told, I would like to become an architect. Will you accept me as a disciple? And immediately that person said, oh, to become an architect, you have to be a sculptor. So now this person went searching for a sculptor, and then he asked that sculptor, would you please accept me as your disciple? And will you please be my tutor? Can you teach me sculpture? Because he says, I have to learn proportion, I have to learn scale, and I have to learn everything. And at that point of time, what happened was that sculptor said, oh, I cannot teach you because to know sculpture, you need to know abhinaya, expression. Expression is very important in sculpture. So you have to learn abhinaya from a dancer. And so he went searching for a dance maestro, and then asked the maestro, see, I want to become an architect. And the architect says, I have to learn sculpture. And the sculptor says, I have to learn dance to know expression. So he says, oh, no, you need to know song before you learn dance. So from there, he went to a song tutor, and he said, can you please teach me singing so that I know the rhythm of life and the rhythm and ragas of life. And that man said, to know singing, you must know poetry. So he went searching for a poet to learn poetry. And when he went to the poet said, to know poetry, you must know life. You must just know life. And that is how awesome architecture is. It sounds like a story, but let me tell you, that tells you about in-depth facets that come into architecture. What an awesome, overwhelming personalities each one turn into being by adopting this profession of architecture. So welcome to the fraternity. Try your level best, put in your best effort. I'm sure you'll make it. And just as he said, it is the effort that matters. Thank you, one and all. We are on dot 10. We shall meet again at 6 o'clock in the evening. Thank you for this session. Thank you for your time. We shall meet again at 6 o'clock in the evening.